Hi there, Poke fans. I'm your humble host, Charizard fan, and you're watching Pokemon Gym Challenges. As you see, today we start a new game, and we are doing the Poison type playthrough. Now, how did I get to the Poison type playthrough? So how this works is in the previous series, I started from the top with Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. Those are your three basic water types. Now, I didn't use them because they were not the best for those specific playthroughs, but the basic theme stayed the same throughout. You had your water, your grass, and your fire types, and I did them in order. But still, in the first series, we also had two others, the normal type and the electric type. And depending on which game you played, you either ended up with an Eevee or with a Pikachu. So that is how I decided the next two, which ended me up at 5 series. But now we're starting the 6th series, which is the Poison playthrough. Now I get there is I started at the top again from the very first series, and I looked at the secondary typing that each Pokemon would give you. So that gave me the Poison type in terms of Bulbasaur. Now, as you will see later on, that is also the only Poison type available throughout all the series up to this point in time, even now in 2024. Okay, so let's get the music back on and see this animation playthrough. So I'll be quiet for a little while. Well, that didn't last long. We are having an exhibition match right now, in which they are going to introduce a new mechanic to us. And as far as possible, I will be using it in this first playthrough because it's the first time I'm encountering this mechanic. But in subsequent playthroughs of this specific game, I will avoid using this specific mechanic because I've seen many YouTube videos where they state that it is too strong. And to make the game a little bit more difficult, we just don't do the mechanic in and of itself. Now, when I was playing this game, my emulator had a lot of glitches, so it didn't actually work very well for me. Oh, we didn't actually see the exhibition match, we only saw the Gigantamax Charizard. Okay, so this is our room. Is that me sitting over there? Most probably. And it is Hop coming on to greet us. I'm kind of glad that they don't make us choose the name of our rival/friend anymore. That made things too complicated. Because you had to think up a new name, and I grant you it was fun to give all sorts of funny nicknames to your friend or enemy or rival. Like a few I can think of at the top of my head was quite insulting, which was nice and fun. But other than that, if they just give you the default name and leave it at that, that would be quite nice. So I wonder why I'm standing here for so long. I think I'll edit out a lot of this standing crap. I probably have to talk to Mom. We have quite a pretty mom in this game. She has a little bit of a apple shape, but you can't have all the best shapes every time, especially in this modern era where they are trying to make their girls as ugly as possible. I'm not a very big fan of that, but such is life. No, here's the door, not that door. I was right there with you at a moment ago. Why do you call me back the moment I want to go out? Couldn't you have talked about the bag when I wanted to go out? Am I looking for the bag now, or what? Okay, so I can't pick any of the clothes over here. Ah, there's the bag. Okay, that explains it. I had to actually take the bag. And this is actually quite a good bag in comparison to the previous versions of bags. It isn't as pretty as the previous versions of bags, but it's actually a believable one. It will allow me to carry everything I need to carry, including the tent I will get later on, and some spare changes of clothes. Not that I'll ever really change clothes, well, after the first couple of times. But if it was a realistic event and you were actually going out, we'll need at least 3 changes of clothes in there, and some warm clothes, which we don't have for some reason. Okay, up. Where are we going? Are we going to that forbidden area? Oh, Wooloo is trying to break a fence. He's probably going to succeed in that as well. Now I could have just played through this game and just did it as a exercise in trying to figure out all the mechanics and just feeling the gameplay. But this is actually my first time playing the game, and I did consult a specific YouTuber to help me to edit my starter, because that is quite difficult to do. I need a different starter than the one they give you in this game, and as mentioned before already, it is going to be Bulbasaur. That is just one of those things. But I'm going to change Bulbasaur up a bit and giving him different attacks, ones that I believe are more appropriate. See if you can catch the differences as Bulbasaur levels up to Ivysaur and then Venusaur, or Venusaur as it is more appropriately known, and see if you can see which of those moves I switched out for what I believe more appropriate moves, instead of the basic ones that they gave him right in the start, which don't actually fit Bulbasaur or Ivysaur or Venusaur all that well. Ah, there's a dude over there. The gym equipment. Oh, is that a lady? Not a dude. It's a grandma, I think. Okay, there's an old dude over there. So this is a multicultural house. I do believe somewhere around here there are some items to be collected. But Hobbs wants us to go somewhere else first. I think we have to go and see Leon now. And we will not be going into that illegal area before we have our starter Pokemon. And I just saved over there because I have played this game several times already. I know I said it was my first time, but it is still my first time, but the game bombs out in this version of the emulator, or it used to. I played it again later on, a few updates later, and it doesn't bomb out anymore. But while I was recording this playthrough, it bombed out quite a bit. So you'll see me save every few seconds. And there we have Leon and his Charizard, my favorite Pokemon. And the crowd is going wild for Leon, hence my name, Charizard fan. But unfortunately, at the end of this series, I'm going to have to beat the crap out of Charizard. I do apologize for that stupid dog barking in the background. I'll see if I can get rid of that noise with my recording software. Bloody dog barks at grass grow. Now, as you see at the start menu over here, they show you the standard 3 starters. But once I pick my starter, you'll see it changes into the one I actually want. Bulbasaur can't climb a tree. Now, I am quite disappointed in the fact that even though the elemental monkeys are not the greatest Pokemon that has ever been created, they are not available in this game, which makes it quite difficult for me to specialize in the simian group when doing my themed playthroughs, which will come at the end of the last series that has a type. So I suppose I get to choose first. It will look like I'm choosing Grookey, but I'm actually going to be choosing Bulbasaur. You'll see right now. Not the second, but soon enough. I could have just edited in Bulbasaur over there on that screen over there, but I didn't do that. I suppose you deserve full disclosure on how things happen. For some reason it took me half an hour to actually start moving over there. Yes, I'll take this grass type. And it is not going to be Grookey. And there we go, Bulbasaur. Just as I said. How that happens, I don't know. And my animation skills isn't yet good enough to have made an animation of this event happening, but with Bulbasaur being the one that does a fist bump to vine kind of action. And somehow, for some reason, the battling platform keeps glitching out. Okay, so Leon now has 2 fire types, and this bloody bunny is going to come in again at the end. I suppose I can do, in this specific game, I can do a bunny chow kind of thing. And it is not bread and meat, half a loaf of bread with meat in it. Although that is the traditional bunny chow. I'm referring to it as a bunny chow because it will be a rabbit playthrough. Okay, so now things are going to get started over here, but most of this initial part is just getting to know everybody and getting our stats set up and getting our first Pokemon. That is basically what it's all about. Okay, so now for some reason I have to go all the way back to Mom and tell her what happened. Oh, that is traditionally how it goes. So I'm going to do that and see if that is still how it's supposed to be going. Why is the bloody field glitching away? I actually didn't notice this happening while I was playing the game. Maybe it's part of the recording software that this happens. It could very well be that. Granted, I have gotten different recording software after this. So it is Bulbasaur versus Wooloo. So he already has 2 Pokemon, whereas I only have 1. And I start with the Razor Leaf. Ah, that is quite powerful. Nice. I think another Razor Leaf will do the trick. And Wooloo comes to an end. You'll have to go and catch a new one. Sure, I got a whole level with that battle over there. And it wants to learn growth, or it learned growth. Now that's a good stat boosting move, but I hardly ever use those, especially if I have the advantage in the battle. It is quicker to just attack when you have the advantage than to try and set up and get stronger. You often find, like I did over here, that just attacking straight will kill the Pokemon outright if you have the advantage. Whereas if you do a setup, it by definition will take at least 2 attacks to take out your opponent. By which time he could inflict you with a status condition like poison or paralyze or sleep or any of those things. Granted, we are not actually playing against professional other players, we are playing against the computer or the Nintendo Switch, as it is in this case. I actually borrowed the Nintendo Switch in order to play this game, and then as I started it up, I thought I shouldn't spoil it for myself, so I downloaded the Yuzu emulator and downloaded this specific game because I have this game specifically. Well, I have this is Sword, I have Shield as well, which I will play later on. But I bought the 2 games and I'm borrowing the Nintendo Switch because the Nintendo Switch is bloody expensive. So since I have the games and I have a device to play it with, I decided to download the emulator and then play it for the first time with my speciality right here and recording it, because I have found in the past that if I play it first with a team I would like and then later on play it for the speciality, it kind of spoils the whole thing for me and it isn't that much fun to play anymore. What do you guys think? And anyway, please consider subscribing to my channel, leaving a like and sharing it with your friends. I have 18 subscribers by now and I would love to get to at least 20 subscribers by the end of this series. To be honest, I wanted to get to that by the end of the electric series, but I messed up on that one, and it turned out to be quite boring because I just had to get myself into the Wall of Fame, because that is the real end of the game, the Wall of Fame. Or else I could have ended it 10 episodes earlier than it actually ended, and that would have been a good place to end in terms of the popularity of the series in and of itself. But now, as you see, we are going into an illegal area. We are going to encounter some nice dogs over here, and then we are also going to be kicked out of this area as well. Now, I am specifically trying to avoid any wild encounters because I don't want my starter to get very much too high too early, and I need to catch some other poison types as well while I do so. Okay, so I'll now run off into the mist. Obviously I have to follow. And the mist is quite bad, but at least I got to him, and at least you have a proper road to follow, so unless you get turned around, it's not that hard to follow the path. Not likely that we would get lost. And there we have a huge, humongous dog scolding us for being out here in this wild area at this time. Of course we don't know what it is because we don't have a Pokédex yet. So we don't know what its name is, we don't know what level it's at, and we are so arrogant as to assume that we can actually defeat it. Our reserve leaf hardly does any damage at all. Maybe 1 point or half a point of damage. And I can't run away. So let's go for a growth. I wonder if that increases my attack stat. It says it had no effect. It's probably because of the mist that it had no effect. Let's go for a tackle. That is not a tackle, that's a vine whip masquerading as a tackle. These animators made some mistakes over here. That was definitely not a tackle, it was a vine whip. Okay, so what was that? I think we fainted. That was some powerful dog. I wonder where Hop is. Ah, he's right there. My bag is bigger than his. I wonder how he manages to fit everything into that bag over there. And obviously Leon came and rescued us, and we needed it because the Pokemon in this area is insanely difficult to deal with if you consider the level we are at. And there we have Wooloo, who was the culprit, the one who forced us into this whole situation to begin with, because he broke down that fence over there, or that gate, broke it open and came in here for mischief, I suppose. Anyway, this is going to be the end of this episode. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you and goodbye.